I'll talk about CASA. The Supreme Court issued its end-of-term decisions last week, June 27th. Trump et al. V. CASA, the birthright citizenship case, which isn't about birthright citizenship at all. I can't talk about. I'm not going to talk about this case long. I mean, all the good Supreme Court podcasts talk about this and all that, but Supreme Court very easily could have decided birthright citizenship. The dissent makes the point that the U.S. government wasn't even defending the merits of the executive order, and instead they have pushed this for at least a year, putting all these people in limbo to make a point about injunctive relief, nationwide injunctions. That they picked this case to do it is extraordinary to me. And now we're in this situation where people are worried about their citizenship in multiple states, even though the U.S. government has a borderline frivolous argument in defense of the executive order, which is what this decision does. It's what the dissent points out. They have taken away, it seems, nationwide injunctions, certainly in the immigration context, but it seems a lot broader than that. The ability of a district court to enjoin unlawful executive action nationwide. You can give the relief to the plaintiffs in front of you, maybe class actions, although class action relief in immigration is very difficult in some contexts because of a decision 2 terms ago. But even so, it costs $500, $400 to file suit in federal court, and tens of thousands of dollars in attorney's fees, not to mention the time. It is not practical to force litigants to go into court every time they need their rights vindicated for blatantly unconstitutional actions. I mean, taken to a logical conclusion, and I am cynical enough to say a future Supreme Court might say otherwise, doesn't seem to be much to stop a future administration from saying no one's allowed to have any guns in America. No more guns, can't have them. Blatantly unconstitutional. But you couldn't get a nationwide injunction for every person in America, it would seem, based on this decision, even though it's blatantly unconstitutional. And that's crazy to me. Every gun owner would need to file their own lawsuit, for example. So that is what the Supreme Court majority just did. The dissents were saying this could be the end of our democracy. Who am I to say otherwise when Justices Sotomayor and Jackson seem to think that, and they're much smarter than me. So that is what happened. That is CASA. But as I mentioned, seems to be a carve-out for Administrative Procedure Act cases. Those are vacature set-asides, not injunctions. And for class actions in the non-immigration context, at least, mostly. So there is ways, but in nationwide relief, it's a big deal.
If like people exactly read it, but it's like, could you go to circuit? Could a circuit court issue that, or could you do a circuit-wide injunction?
This is about the power of district courts to issue, and you can't just go into circuit court. I mean, the district court gets appealed to the circuit court, which gets appealed to the Supreme Court. Now, there actually might be a special rule for the Supreme Court to be able to issue injunctions itself, which I think comes from the Constitution, but
it's not practical.
Yeah. Going directly to the Supreme Court is an extraordinary thing that most litigants can't do. Now, this is a big deal. It's a